Hello, hello, children of the cosmos. It's yours truly calling once again, and you're listening to Unidentified Education, your source for the unknown, unsolved mysteries of the universe. Thank you for tuning in. Whether you're driving, flying, or astronavigating, thank you for your time. The year is 2021, pre-arrival. That's pre-arrival of the extraterrestrials. And we are in countdown for June, when all the UFO documentation will be released to the public. I'm streaming from the great state of Texas in an undisclosed location. The power's at max capacity, and we are ready to receive from the mothership. So let's begin with some news, shall we? Elon Musk says a bunch of people will probably die during the Mars missions. SpaceX pioneer made his blunt prediction as he laughed at how he planned Mars mission was being seen as some escape hatch for rich people. You might die. It's going to be an uncomfortable, probably won't even get good food. I'm out. When you said no, not even good food, that's a Dunsky for me. Musk told Peter Diamandis, I can't even say that name, Diamandis, the founder and chairman of X Prize Foundation for Scientific Discovery. Advertisements for the journey should note it will be dangerous journey where you may not come back alive, Musk said with a chuckle. Honestly, a bunch of people will probably die in the beginning, he said, while insisting it will be a glorious adventure and it will be an amazing experience. Yes, it would be a space race to Mars. Awesome. Crappy food, negative. I'm gonna let them work the kinks out, let them fly, run into the asteroid mine belt, whatever, zip past the space debris. And then once everything gets good and all the kinks are worked out and it's just smooth sailing, then I'll go. Other than that, I don't want to risk my life going to Mars. There's nothing there right now. There's no Mars malls. There's no restaurants. There's no Olive Gardens, Taco Bells. There's nothing. It's a desert and it's cold. So, they have to start. I know they have to start somewhere. I'm just not the one. I need air conditioning. I need space. I don't know. I don't think I'll make it. That's just not me. But I do look forward to it. Once they get going, heck yeah. I'll go to Mars. Okay. I don't talk about our great state of Texas much. Most of the audience listening are from Texas. And Texas has so much to offer. Famous comedians, they're all coming to Texas, Austin area. I'm in the Dallas area. But a lot of them are coming to Texas because they like it. They like the atmosphere. They're not paying a buttload in property taxes. So these rich comedians are coming over here, and then they're starting their own businesses, and that's good for the economy. But we have our histories of ghosts and Bigfoot sightings, and another one is a famous UFO sighting doesn't get much attention. So it says that this is from the a Texas magazine, and it says Texas has a long history of UFO sightings. Texans have been reporting UFO sightings since 1878 and reported the first touchdown here in 1879. The first touchdown of a UFO, of an alien UFO, more than 50 years before Roswell infamous crash. And also there was a cigar-shaped craft that was seen spotted in the Midwest, and it went to its way to Denton, Weatherford, Corsicana, and Stephenville. And you should do more research. We are probably like the next Roswell. We just need people to open up a alien UFO themed restaurant. Because we have a lot of air bases around here, just like Roswell has Area 51. So I'm pretty sure they're hiding a UFO in one of our Lockheed air bases or one of those I can't name right now. But if somebody opens up like a chain of restaurants like UFO themed, oh yeah, we're gonna be the next Roswell. In fact, I'll start it. I'll start GoFundMe, and we'll get this alien themed restaurant. It's gonna be a little shack though first, because it's not a lot of money to go into it. And then if people start coming, we're gonna make a full sized restaurant, and it's gonna be we're gonna be the next Roswell. The Browns quarterback, what's his name? The Browns quarterback, Baker Mayfield. And I reported it on the earlier episode of a podcast, but he and his wife saw a UFO as they were coming from a night out, and they were headed home, and they were convinced, and they posted it on Twitter, and everybody was like, yeah, well, I don't know if it was real or not. And And he was, I guess, he didn't want to come out saying that he was, people thought he was crazy. But then with all this news coming out of the Pentagon finally admitting that there's UFOs, which they never did. The government would put so much money and effort into the whole denial and to throw us off track about any type of UFOs. Now, I know a good 50% of the sightings are, in fact, a military aircraft. And we know that. But what drives, what engines and all that's believed to be reverse technology from a UFO. So Mayfield says that he's a firm believer in a UFO and Sasquatch, and who isn't? Mayfield said with a smile Monday on a Zoom call with reporters, it's real. I saw it. I'm glad the Navy finally confirms some more pictures. Now everyone doesn't think I'm crazy. I believe we should all follow his lead. Believers out there, not just in believers, but believers. All right. Well, we got a good little show for you. I'm going to talk a little bit about Mummified Aliens. And then I will do a recap at the end and some of my theories on ancient aliens, and it's going to be a good show. I made a little presentation for you guys, and try to change things up a little bit. And thank you so much, guys, for joining, and we'll be right back after a message from our sponsors. The Great Pyramid of Giza still to this day conceals many secrets of the past. A story appeared in an Egyptian magazine March of 2000. A French Egyptologist, Louis Capriet, unearthed an alien mummy. The events took place in a secret room inside the Great Pyramid circa 1988. There in a tomb lies what appeared to be an hibernating alien body. It appeared to be humanoid, and it was believed to be of mixed race, human and extraterrestrial DNA. Near the body was a papyrus that recorded an encounter with the great pharaoh Khufu. It is said the pharaoh was convinced to have built the Great Pyramids for future arrival of other beings of his race. Upon researching the papyrus, it was concluded that it was written around the time of the Neolithic period, a mixed race of civilization documented to have elongated heads. Luis then contacted his colleague, who was a biologist in Spain. Luis wanted the mummy to be tested, including blood, cell tissue, and DNA. As soon as his colleague arrived, he was detained by the Egyptian Ministry of State Security and was quickly put on a plane back to Spain. It was reported by the magazine that the alien was taken to an unknown lab by the Egyptian military intelligence. We can only ponder the idea of aliens visiting ancient civilizations. Author Peter Tompkins' Secret of the Great Pyramids has written about a strange occurrence of military activity and heavy construction at the Great Pyramids. Since then, many other stories of alien mummies being discovered have been reported. A mummified 5-foot 3-inch alien was found buried in an ancient pyramid by archaeologist Victor Lebec. The news of the great find was not told to the public right away. It was concluded that the alien mummy was dated back to 1880 BC. Written on the tomb showed that the alien mummy was a counselor to the pharaoh and was named Osrenet, which means sent from heaven. The body was buried with unique synthetic materials not found in any other tomb. The sex was uncertain. It appeared to have a reptilian skin and extremely large eyes. The story caused controversy among Egyptian officials and refused to accept their heritage was influenced by outer space. It seemed the CIA also was interested in ancient discoveries. Sources say they have banned archaeologists from excavating certain areas. So far, there are 3 hidden openings around the Sphinx that remain prohibited till this day. Secret entrances have recorded information regarding extraterrestrial influence in human civilization. British journalist Graham Hancock wrote that the CIA has discovered 9 chambers in the Sphinx containing metal objects. These chambers are recorded in emerald tablets that were supposed to be written by Thoth or Hermes. Each of them were molded out of a single piece of emerald green crystal. The true origins remain lost and have been dated over 10,000 years. It was buried in an unknown place, protected by religious zealots who were burning libraries around the world at the time. It seems that intelligence agencies are very much interested in these types of ancient documents, we can only conclude that they indeed believe that ancient civilizations in some areas have been more advanced than ours currently. Some even conclude that humans and aliens have mated with each other, creating some kind of hybrid humanoid. So the next time you're on your next family vacation to the Great Pyramids, find the Sphinx, uncover the ancient secrets of emerald tablets, discover alien origins. We may not want to know the origins of humans. And I'm not trying to bring up any type of religion, because religion is important in many ways. It's like a salvation. It helps people look forward to something, or get through something, get through a disease, get through a sickness, get through a time of suffering. But if we do find out that extraterrestrials were somehow involved in our evolution and played a big role in Earth, then it's going to be hard for other people to accept that, and it might be a grim, horrible, I don't know, it just seems like a Twilight Zone episode where somehow aliens were so far, an ancient civilization from another world was so far advanced that it helped create us and genetically altered us to think and to reproduce and to become a race. And when there's evidence of extraterrestrials influencing ancient cultures, I mean, is that our origins? Does that by default makes us our influences are benevolent civilizations from another world? Is that what this whole purpose is? Or, there's so many questions. And when it even dates back even further into an ancient civilization or ancient Egypt, it's just, we cannot fathom. And I think we're getting closer and closer to the truth of our origins and where we came from. Now, will people accept that we were some type of experiment from an ancient civilization from another world? Probably not, because some people would totally lose their minds. I mean, then our question is, then the scriptures and religion are wrong, then what's the truth? Where do we go? What's our purpose? Perhaps humans had to create a type of documentation to help us cope with the idea that we are just stuck on this planet for no reason than a science experiment. So do we? Scientists would be okay with it. Atheists probably be okay with it. So that means that we would have to create our own. Well, it would be a struggle to move on and to pursue our survival. And does that mean stopping the death process? That might be. Science may be so advanced in the future that no one ever dies. We just keep regenerating. Or dying would be an alternative if you're extremely bored, but there'll be cures for everything, cures for mental illness. So the human civilization would live on forever throughout the galaxies. But I digress because I'm going down the wrong path. But the possibilities are endless once we find out our true origins. And we have to decide what we're going to do from there on. If we survive a nuclear attack, I mean, our governments are still fighting against each other. I know the ETs will intervene eventually. If they are ever going to, they will once these nukes start flying everywhere. And I'm sure they know the importance of our planet. Perhaps we are there's only very few planets that are like ours. And I think we kind of know that already. Science tells us. But I think we're closer to find once they have to have the answers. They just have to. We're just in that situation, and it's getting close. We're getting closer to that answer and that does not mean stop believing and stop having faith in what your religion is or what you grew up to. Just realize that there are much more advanced civilizations that hold the answers, and maybe we should just not know it and say ignorance is bliss. You know how the aliens will say in a movie, you cannot fathom, you will not understand, because it goes beyond our thoughts of religion and existence. If they're in that they're in that spot where they are so advanced where they created us, basically, then they have the obligation not to completely just burst our bubble of existence. If they had any sympathy or anything or love for us, they would let us believe what we still believe and maybe just kind of help us clean up the earth and get rid of our nukes or something. I think that's the major priority, not so much change our thoughts. And since they know the answers to the beginnings of life, and that may be a curse in itself that they can handle. They can handle knowing that all this was either a big accident or up for a purpose, or maybe just out of pure curiosity to create life. Now they realize how they're responsible to keep this ant farm going, if you will. But I won't go too on a tangent. Guys, if you like the content, go to anchor.com, visit my podcast, and become a sponsor. And for only 99 cents, you can help sponsor my show so that I can continue to make more episodes. I'm also on YouTube, and I'll have the link if I'm able to post it on the Anchor website. It's anchor.fm/u-e. Thank you for listening. I enjoy doing this. It's like a hobby for me, and I'll continue to do it. And till then, children of the cosmos, I bid you adieu. And remember, the universe has great things planned for you. Just stay positive, and good things will come to you. Be well.